Florian Wirtz, Jeremie Frimpong, Liverpool's new dynamic duo.
Wirtz can create space, and there's the answer. Wow! And Frimpong, if he can pounce on this one, might be onto something. Being forced wide, and he's on his own. He has a goal! That is how to finish it!
In the past, when the Reds have made double signings from the same team, it has worked wonders. Mane and Van Dijk from Southampton, Salah and Alisson from Roma, and now this duo. I knew Leverkusen were going to get ransacked after their invincible season in 2024, but I figured it would be Bayern that would come in and take their top players. I never thought that Liverpool would swoop in and bring this much quality to Anfield in just one transfer window. Because these two weren't just good in the Bundesliga, they were flat out two of the most informed players in all of Europe. Frimpong was a player who very much changed the perception of the way we view wingbacks. Normally, when a team runs a 3-back or a 5-back, however you want to view it, you assume that they're just going to park the bus. But Alonso's side actually played very attacking football.
Never played that right back this season, really, for Bayer Leverkusen. He was either the wingback or right winger or even a second striker, as we mentioned. Sometimes probably even as a false number 9.
So Frimpong kept running down the right-hand side, creating havoc. Look at his heat map early in Xabi Alonso's project. The right side was all his. Yes, Bellingham's boyfriend isn't the only fullback that can cause damage going forward.
Jeremie Frimpong in style.
Maybe Frimpong isn't interested in making cinematic edits of himself like Trent, but he's still capable of creating chances for fun. By the way, I can't say Frimpong's name without thinking of the Frimpong song. With how well he was playing, Alonso trusted him more and more. As you can see, his minutes increased every season. Now, of course, everyone will focus on his speed, and I mean they should. The guy is rapid. He plays with unlimited energy and the freedom that most fullbacks only dream of. He can beat his man, he can score himself, or cross into his teammates. But what really makes Frimpong so successful is actually his timing and positioning. From wingback, he was often Leverkusen's furthest man forward. He was always in and around the box ready to pounce. He was moving like Ronaldo after 2018. Look at Frimpong's goal against Leipzig. It's from 6 yards out. That's a wingback chilling in the box. Now, before Liverpool fans get a heart attack, this doesn't mean that Frimpong is just gonna bomb up the pitch as much as he wants under Slot. I just wanted to show that he can do the role that is asked of him at a high level. When he arrived from Celtic, he was a normal right back. But under Alonso, his role changed. He had to adapt. And he did. I mean, he was the best right wing back out there for the past 3 seasons. In the 2023 season, he finished with 9 goals and 10 assists in all competition. That's a defender having better output than most strikers.
Darwin Núñez.
Literally, his statistical output was better than the numbers that Núñez put up in the 2025 season. Across all fullbacks in Europe, Frimpong ranked in the top 1% for goals and goal contributions. And the great thing is, he wasn't just staying out wide and spamming crosses. He was everywhere. Sometimes he would be beating a man on the touchline. The next play, he was in the box, timing his run like a center forward. He wasn't always overlapping. Sometimes he would underlap. Sometimes he would cut in. Other times he was just racing past the defenders with his speed. And then came the next season. The season that changed everything. Frimpong didn't just improve. The guy exploded. He scored 14 goals and added 10 assists across all competition. Yes, you heard those numbers right. Those are stats you expect from a winger, from an out-and-out number 9, not a wingback. In the Bundesliga alone, he had scored 9 times, becoming Leverkusen's 3rd highest scorer. Every time he touched the ball, he ran at defenders with confidence and speed. He played like a forward more than a defender, but that's because that's exactly what Xabi wanted. Even when Leverkusen played a back 4, Frimpong was pushed forward to play like a winger. That year, of course, Leverkusen made history. They won their first ever Bundesliga title, and they did it without losing a single game. They also lifted the DFB Pokal, and of course, Frimpong was right in the middle of it all. His incredible season didn't go unnoticed. He was named in the Bundesliga Team of the Season and the Europa League Team of the Season. It was official. Frimpong wasn't just one of the best in Germany, he was one of the best in all of Europe. Let me show you guys one game of his from a few years ago against Atletico Madrid, just in case you think he only performs against Bundesliga farmers. He started on the bench that game. He ripped Atletico Madrid apart in 20 minutes. First, he finds the ball here in space away from Mario Hermoso. Frimpong bounces the ball off Callum Hudson-Odoi before making a darting run between Hermoso and Yannick Carrasco. Now, Hermoso underestimates Frimpong's physicality because he's a short and thin guy, but little does he know that in football, a low center of gravity makes you lethal. So Frimpong bullies Hermoso and finds himself isolated on the touchline. Now Hermoso is still in a good defending position. All he has to do is just keep pushing him out wide. But guess what Frimpong does? He produces a very clever spin and sends Hermoso to the donut shop. The Dutchman then picks out Andrich on the edge of the box, who curls in the shot to give Leverkusen the lead. What's crazy is that Frimpong wasn't even done yet. A few minutes later, he showed his speed once more. Look at where he's positioned when Callum Hudson-Odoi grabs the ball. Now Hudson-Odoi glides past Hermoso and boom, look at Frimpong turning on the jets. Within a couple of seconds, he has caught up with Hudson-Odoi, who passes the ball into space. Frimpong hits a first-time cross into the perfect area, just out of the goalkeeper's reach, but close enough to bait him to come off his line. Diaby arrives at the back post and slams the ball into the net. Now yes, as you can tell, this clip was from a few years ago, as frickin' Callum Hudson-Odoi was at Leverkusen with Diaby. But Frimpong has been doing that exact movement for years now. I mean, here is his heat map from the 2024-2025 season. As you can see, it's almost identical to the one I showed you from 2023. Look at what he was doing against Stuttgart. Frimpong took his defender on, one-on-one, and used his pace to gain a yard and whip a near post cross into Patrick Schick, who flicked the header home. The two of them combined again against Borussia Dortmund. This time Frimpong got the ball out of his feet quickly and placed a low far post cross into the path of Schick. As you can see, a lot of variety in the way that Frimpong can deliver a cross.
He'll be a flying machine that goes up and down and does doggies literally back and forth, and you know, that's what he gives. So yeah, a great addition to the squad.
Liverpool don't have a player like Jeremie Frimpong in their squad. Yes, players like Mo Salah and Diaz are quick, especially over short distances. They're explosive. Nunez is fast too, but speed kind of becomes irrelevant when there's no brain cells up there. Frimpong though is different. He is a speedster. Once he starts running, almost nobody can catch him. There aren't many players in world football who can match his pace, and definitely not ones at Liverpool. And this speed was necessary because Salah is getting older. In the next few years, he will probably start playing more centrally, drifting inside rather than hugging the touchline like he did in his early Liverpool days. That transition becomes a lot easier when there's someone like Frimpong behind him, someone who can stretch the pitch, make runs into space, and keep the width. Frimpong's speed and attacking mindset create the perfect setup for Salah to evolve his role, and for Liverpool to stay dangerous in that transition. What's great about Frimpong is that he's not just a running merchant. Yes, he does everything with speed, but he has also developed his game all around during his time at Leverkusen. He worked on his positioning, his decision making, being more composed on the ball. Yes, he is not a playmaker in the sense that Trent was. He doesn't bang passes across the pitch, and he doesn't strike the ball in the same ultra technical way, but he can still cause so much damage. Frimpong offers the same creativity, the same output from the right side. It's just his impact comes from his speed and runs. Another thing that is interesting about Frimpong is that he's a player who wasn't really involved in the build-up play at Leverkusen. If we look at this chart here from The Athletic, his game is all about off-the-ball runs and offering verticality to stretch the opposition. He makes a lot of runs in behind and into the box. I mean, the guy has more stamina than Lily Phillips. When he gets further forward, he is able to create really high quality chances. So it will be interesting to see how much freedom Slot will allow him to have. Now, while Frimpong played a massive role in Leverkusen's title-winning campaign, it was Florian Wirtz who was the true superstar. And now Liverpool have him too. Wirtz is the first time in a very long time that Liverpool have spent big money on an elite attacker. The Reds spent big money on Alisson and Van Dijk, but to find an attacker as exciting as Wirtz, we would have to go back to 2007 when Liverpool signed Fernando Torres. You can make an argument that the Suarez signing in 2011 was also this exciting, but again, you have to go back a very long time to find a proven attacker that was signed for big money by Liverpool.
To see Liverpool being able to do it, it's a statement in itself, isn't it?
That's just the way FSG operate. They make calm, considered decisions based on evidence and data, not emotion. They ignore the outside noise. Basically the exact opposite of United's transfer strategy. So when they do spend, it's because they have a lot of belief in the player, and they clearly feel that Wirtz is someone who will add another dimension to Slot's side. Considering how good the German was for Leverkusen, it's not surprising to see. He is a technically gifted attacker who both creates goals and scores them. He's fantastic at finding space between the lines. In fact, that's probably his best quality, dribbling at pace and picking the right pass. He's very versatile. He can play on the wing, as an attacking midfielder, up front. He's also very durable. People focus on the fact that he had an ACL injury 3 years ago, but don't discuss the fact that he came back better than ever and then only missed about 5 league matches over the past 2 seasons. In the 2024 season, when Leverkusen went unbeaten domestically en route to the double under Alonso, Wirtz contributed 18 goals and 20 assists in 49 appearances across all competitions. That's a goal involvement every 91 minutes for those of you doing quick maths. He was the architect of everything good in their attack. In the Bundesliga alone, he racked up 11 goals and 11 assists in 32 games. But the stats don't even tell the full story. What made Florian Wirtz so special is how he played. He controlled the rhythm of the game. When things slowed down, he sped them up. When defenders tried to press him, he found a way out. He glided past players in tight spaces. He slipped passes through gaps that barely existed, and he always seems to be thinking 2 steps ahead. Under Xabi Alonso, Wirtz became more than just a talented player. He was the heartbeat of the entire team. Everything ran through him. Because again, I'm not exaggerating when I say this. He wasn't just a part of the Alonso system. He was the system.
Oh my goodness, what great footwork! And that's a marvellous goal! Florian Wirtz!
There is a reason this guy was the Bundesliga Player of the Year in 2024. The next season, Leverkusen weren't as dominant, but Wirtz still played really well. He scored 16 times and provided 15 assists in 45 games. In the Champions League, he had 6 goals in 9 matches. So again, this is not a player who just performed because he was in the Bundesliga. Over the 2 seasons, only Salah had more assists in Europe's Big 5 domestic leagues than Wirtz. In the 2025 season, Doku was the only player to attempt more passes within the attacking third than Wirtz per 90 minutes. That's how much damage the German does. Not only will Wirtz help to fill the creative gap following Trent's move to Real Madrid to get better IG picks, but he also fits the profile of what Slot is looking for in terms of work ethic out of possession. He averaged 1.25 high turnovers per 90 minutes in all competitions in the 2025 season, which was the most among all Bundesliga players who logged in at least 1,500 minutes of game time. So yes, he's very good on the ball, but he's not afraid of doing the dirty work. Kind of like Szoboszlai. For Liverpool fans who didn't get a chance to watch him in the Bundesliga, they got a glimpse of what he can do in the Nations League. The 22-year-old scored a nice headed goal in the 58th minute against Portugal. Wirtz was the first to react when the ball bounced loose near Germany's box. His pass had just been blocked, but he didn't panic. He quickly faked a move to create space and slid a pass to Joshua Kimmich. Then instead of standing still, he kept moving, quietly drifting into the box without anyone noticing. Kimmich saw it, chipped the ball over the defenders, and Wirtz was ready. He took it in stride and finished the move himself. Just what you'd expect from one of Germany's brightest talents. The slow motion replay actually makes the header look even better, a finish that most number 9s would be proud of. Is that where he could potentially play? Ever since the rumors began about him joining Liverpool, there were debates about where the Dutch Caillou would play him. On paper, the obvious answer seemed as the number 10, playing in between the lines, finding pockets of space like he did for Leverkusen. But he could also do really well as a false 9 in a 4-2-4 system. Liverpool used it occasionally in the 2025 season with Diaz up front. No matter where he plays, he's gonna do damage. And Slot wanted him because he wanted to add new weapons to his squad, and there are few bigger creative ones in football than Wirtz. Because while someone like Frimpong provides creativity and danger without the ball, Wirtz's damage comes from in possession. Look at what he did to the São Paulo defense. He picks up the ball from Alejandro Grimaldo in his sweet spot. This is the space where he's most dangerous. With a quick glance up, Wirtz drives straight at the defense, and just for a little bit of aura farming, he megs the defender like it's nothing, and then slots a past the keeper. How many attacking midfielders are able to replicate this play? Here he is doing damage against an even better opposition in the Champions League. Wirtz checks in to receive a pass. The guy who was supposed to be marking him in Barrios is too slow to react, so Wirtz plays a first time pass and spins around Barrios. When he receives the ball again, he has room to run into. He's also perfectly positioned to send a through ball to Frimpong to get him behind. I wanted to show you guys this play specifically because we will be seeing a lot of it between the two just at Liverpool now. What these clips show is that Florian Wirtz is no longer just one of Europe's best young players. He's one of the best flat out. With Frimpong and Wirtz, Liverpool have signed 2 top talents, a game-changing duo. Frimpong brings the blistering speed, relentless running, and a constant threat down the right flank. Wirtz offers creativity, control, and the ability to unlock any defense with a single pass. Together, they transform the way Liverpool attack, one rushing forward to stretch the pitch, the other pulling the strings to create space and chances. They already showed under Xabi Alonso how dangerous they can be when given the freedom to play their game. And with them coming to Liverpool, it's not just about fitting into the team, it's about raising the level of the whole squad. What should impress Liverpool fans even more is the mentality and character of both of these guys. As we have seen with Liverpool, they don't just look at a player's ability, they also look at what kind of person the players are, both on and off the pitch. And by all accounts, Wirtz and Frimpong are both very humble, down-to-earth guys. The two together don't just make Liverpool better, they make them terrifying. Now, one guy that will complement this duo really well is Mohamed Salah. To see how underappreciated the Egyptian still is, you have to check out this video right here.